Y'all ready for this?
We're going to move next into the debate segment. And so, let's go. So this is how it works. So each week it's going to be two people against each other, and then there's going to be two judges. How this goes is each person gets a minute. There's a post question. We're going to keep a record, and then there's a 30-second rebuttal, and that's it. And then the two judges will pick the winner. The first question is, which rookie receiver will have the same or more of an impact on their offense this upcoming offseason, or not offseason, this season? Dobbs and Connor that are going to be debating.
Dobbs is so hyped for this. He's so excited. 3, 2, 1.
I'm going with Jamar Chase, and I'll keep this short, sweet, and to the point. Look, what y'all need to know, as a 19 and 20-year-old kid, Jamar Chase led the SEC, 1,780 yards, 20 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson was his teammate. Now, we all know how good Justin Jefferson was last year. And Justin Jefferson, I knew was going to be a fantastic player coming in the league. As a matter of fact, on record, all these guys would tell you, I remember how much I was like shocked it was the Eagles passed him, as I'm sure many people were, because I knew he was going to come in the league and have a big impact. With Jamar Chase, I have that same feeling times 0.1 and times 1.5, where it's like, I know he's going to be spectacular. He's going to literally come right in from day one and make magic happen because he's that talented. He is one of the most talented receivers to come out of college in such a long time. He's physical. He's a good blocker as well. Not that matters for statistics for offensive rookie or anything we're making, but it matters for making an impact. And I think that he is going to be their number one receiver from year one. All respect. And the Bengals already have a good receiving core. So that just adds fuel to my fire. Jamar Chase I think he's going to be a truth.
The thing is, when you look at the question, it's who has a better impact on their offense this upcoming season. And I think there are a couple receivers that have the chance to walk in and be the number one. Devonta Smith could come out and be the number one for Philly, and Rashod Bateman could be the number one for Baltimore. But I trust Lamar Jackson a lot more. So I'm going to go with Rashod Bateman here. I think he was the most NFL-ready receiver to come out of the draft this year. He's the best route runner. He's got great hands. He's fast too. And I think Lamar's been dying for a receiver that can hold the outside, that he can actually throw deep balls to, because in college, he was one of the best deep ball throwers in college football. And he hasn't had a receiver that can go down the field and make plays on the ball. So I think Rashod Bateman's going to come in and take over that number one receiving role. And I think he could lead the league in receiving yards for a rookie.
Here's my rebuttal. I agree that I think that Bateman's going to come in and he's going to have he's going to be in a position to be the number one receiver. But I think that Chase is going to be in that same position where, and yes, Chase is surrounded by talent, but we have to remember Chase is going right back with the QB that he was just setting records with. And we know that trust is going to be there. That mutual trust is already in standing. Joe Burrow is going to be looking his way first on almost every play because he knows and trusts he's going to get open. And moreover, I just think Chase he's going to get open against already almost any corner you throw in front of him. He's that talented. He's that shifty. So yeah, I respect Bateman.
So I do agree with you. I think Chase is by far the most talented receiver in this as the rookie class. But the thing is, there are a lot of mouths to feed in Cincinnati, and I think T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are already established there. So even though Jamar Chase will come in and he can be wide receiver too, take over the outside role, there are a lot of other receivers that are going to get the ball, and I think they're going to get Joe Mixon more involved this year too. So that would be my reason not to take Chase.
I have to side with Connor because, one, I do agree that Lamar is going to target Bateman a lot more because he's got, Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews. Yes, you're saying that, Jamar Chase is going to make an impact, but that doesn't matter if Burrow's going to be on the ground 90% of the game. They should have took Sewell. I'm sorry, they should have took Sewell. So I got to go Bateman.
I'm just going to go with Dobbs and the Jamar Chase thing. I was going to go Bateman, and I've talked to Connor about this too. I think Bateman's so good, and he's literally in a world of his own right there where, it's only Hollywood Brown, right, as the other receiver, Willie Snead. Who cares about those dudes? Dobbs hit me with that Burrow to Jamar Chase connection. If they can get that going again, that could be scary.
So if there's a tie, we're going to throw up a poll on the story, and we'll decide.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
More specifically, Hunter and Dylan are going to be going back and forth on who the best rookie head coach is going to be for the next decade. So a long period of time, a lot of thinking to do. So let's hear what you boys think. With that being said, I'm going to start this timer.
I'm going to go Brandon Staley. I think his past work speaks for himself. He was with the Rams. He was with the Bears. And if I don't forget, he was with the Broncos. So I I think culture-wise, I think he's a great guy. I almost went Saleh but the reason I didn't go Saleh is because I looked at the team. I think the Chargers are built to win long-term, and I think if Zach Wilson doesn't plan out, I think the Saleh thing is going to be kind of tough until they get a new guy. I think Brandon Staley, I think teams love him. I think he's worked under great people. He's worked with McVay. He's worked with Fangio. I think he has all that winning attitude and culture. I think he's a player's guy, and I think his past experience really, like I said, speaks for itself in terms of those defenses that he's worked with. And Jay Herbo.
Whenever you're ready for your side of the argument, Dylan.
All right, if I'm being completely honest, I was looking at Brandon Staley too, and I would have loved to pick him because I think he is set up for the future. But my thing with Robert Saleh is that I think that he's going to develop a culture. We've all seen him running around with his head cut off on the sideline, screaming, getting guys jacked and juiced. I think it might take him a little bit, maybe like the next 5 years to develop that roster. But there's no question in my mind that Robert Saleh is the best culture coach aside from these rookies and maybe even in the entire NFL. I think he's going to get those guys juiced in. Zach Wilson kind of scares me a little bit. We don't really know what to expect from that team, but if Zach Wilson does pan out, like he has a nice setup there. He gets some defensive pieces. I think that he might resurrect the Jets. Who knows?
All right, Hunter, 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. I love Robert Saleh. I think he's the right guy, but here's the thing. If Zach Wilson doesn't pan out, you're just not letting him go after your first year. You're sitting with him, and you're talking about like it's going to take 5 years. You don't got 5 years. 5 years is half of the question. You're set with Jay Herbo. You're set with the Chargers. They are set. There's too many contingencies on the Jets, and the Jets are the Jets. So there you go.
All right, so this is a big part that I think we're missing too. If we look at the division, he is in a really tough division, and he might be losing to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs a lot over the next decade. Robert Saleh, we got the Bills, we got the Patriots, sure, but I think there is a lot more wiggle room for them to get on the come up and take over that division a little bit.
I know this isn't allowed, but I'm sneaking in. There's 7 seeds. There's an extra spot. I don't care. There's an extra spot.
Hunter, your evidence was compelling. And you know what? Your rebuttal, you were rolling. Dylan, I everything you said, Dylan, I do agree with. It is true. The contingencies the Jets hold versus the Chargers, it's so hard for me not to think that Brandon Staley is going to have a longer sustained success. Whereas though, if Saleh does have success, I can see it being better and being more highly regarded because the situation he's going into with the Jets is going to be a lot harder than Staley's situation.
Oh, do my pick now. So I think both your guys' arguments, like you both did a very good job. If I had to go argument alone, I don't think I could choose either one of you because I think you both made some very good points. I'm going to go with Dylan because I am a little bit of a Jets stan. You guys are hating on the roster. It's not that bad. The defensive line is very good.
That defensive line is very good.
It is nice.
Their trenches are getting built up. Like they're building those trenches.
I'm like LaMarcus Joyner is coming back to play actual free safety this year. I mean, I'm kind of a Jets stan, so I'm going to go with Dylan also because of the division point that you're in the division with the GOAT. That's going to be tough to come out of all the time.